Hey friends, Paul Angeli here. How you guys doing tonight? Doing this a little bit different. Just started getting set up here. Welcome to the live stream. And we're going to do a little bit of reverse storyboarding tonight. I'm going to be reverse storyboarding and showing those of you that don't know how to reverse storyboard. We're going to be studying the film 1999 epic. I love it. It's epic film to me. Dances with Wolves. So if you're gonna hang out and join along, that would be absolutely wonderful. And look forward to working on one of the sequences and learning more about about this movie and what can we learn from the movie as a storyboard artist. Um, you know. This is a great film, It was directed by Kevin Costner and starred Kevin Costner. Like I said, it came out in 1990. I know it won quite a few awards with it, too. Just absolutely phenomenal movie. I love watching it every time. Whole family enjoys it and watching the movie as well. It's a lot of it was Kevin Costner, Mary McDonald, Graham Greene, Rodney Grant, Floyd Westerman. Just so many different great actors in it. Graham Greene was great as Kicking Bird. I just really enjoyed the movie a lot. And I'm glad to see Best Picture. That's what I thought. Lots of awards for it, but a great film. And we're going to be storyboarding this film tonight a little bit and learning together. I picked out a certain scene, so if you're following along, grab your pens, grab your pencils, whatever you have to draw with, and let's storyboard together. And I'm going to show you how I do the reverse storyboarding as we learn how this works. I got my coffee ready. I'm ready to start sketching. So I am currently utilizing, like I said, Dances with Wolves. I'm over here on YouTube, and it's part of the YouTube free movies, section there. So if you want to storyboard this out yourself and hang out, you can do that with me, along with me, and Daniel, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. We're going to be talking about reverse storyboarding today, and we'll be looking at Dances with Wolves. I'm about almost an hour into the movie. It's a little over 3 hour movie, and I'm going to be, doing Kevin Costner's about ready to go. The Native Americans had already gone over to visit him, Kicking Bird and everybody, and he's going off to go visit the tribe for the first time, being in his outpost. This took place after the Civil War, and we're going to start storyboarding us. Show you. If you're following along with the free films, you just go look up Dance with Wolves. It's free on YouTube right now. Great movie to study and learn from too. I'm on time code. I'm at 50 minutes, 0.2 seconds. If you want to follow along, just saying hi to everybody. Marianne GR, how's it going today? Eva, how's it going? Welcome. So I'm gonna move my coffee over to the side here. I'll try to storyboard as much as I can before I get tired. It's almost midnight over here on my time. I'm gonna take a sip of the coffee. And let's get going. Okay, so when I'm reverse storyboarding, I'll just pick out a sequence that I enjoyed. This sequence is an interesting sequence because there's a little bit of a montage at the beginning of the sequence. Let's the sketch. Okay, cool. This sequence here, it starts off with a little montage with this sequence, and then it goes into him riding off into the distance, and he comes across Mary McDonald's character, and she is unfortunately lost her husband and is is you know, losing her life right there, and he goes to save this woman and bring her back to the tribe. So I thought it was a cool scene. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I board it out. So I'm going to use a little bit bigger shots here. And sort of when I lay out a shot, I'm just sort of looking at those shots. I'll just draw my boxes when I'm thumbnailing, thinking about that story, and I'll just put those shots down like this as I'm thinking. So if you've ever storyboarded before, let's say I have my three sort of letterbox type sequences. You can sort of see what we're doing, and we're going to do the same type of thing where the other day we had a quick live stream and we were doing this Odo the Spaceman, and where he was capturing a creature and having fun with that. So this is the style that we would sort of do. Keep it really simple in terms of doing the reverse storyboarding. And what I do with this is I try to, you know, when I'm doing an actual film, I'm just trying to learn what is the cinematographer doing, you know, what is the cameraman doing, what is the director trying to do. Ode 10 Cafe, how's it going? Marianne GR, what's the timestamp for the movie? Timestamp is 50 minutes, 2 seconds. Okay, and I am on John Dunbar, Kevin Costner's character. He is polishing his boots and going through that montage, and that's where I'm starting right now. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I'm going to keep pretty loose in terms of these boards real quick. I'm going to use a brush pen. I've been enjoying using my brush pens. Let me just see what pen I have here, and I can use for our little exercise here. Okay, I'm going to use this one here. And I like brush pens because I can sort of quickly, yeah, you're welcome, Marianne. So I'm just sort of thinking of this shot and sort of playing with it. I'm thinking of John Dunbar. And I'm going to keep it pretty loose real quick. He's got his hand here in terms of what he's doing. He's got a couple fingers there. He's got his long johns on. He's got his hand there. He's got some sort of towel. We know he's working on a boot, so we're gonna sort of keep it simple here with the boot. He's got his boot there. And he's working with that boot. He's got the stirrups on it. Or not the stirrups, he's got the boot over his knee. His knee's about right there. So I'm just working loose real quick because I'm just I just want to get he's got the boot. We just want this to look enough like the boot in terms of how that boot is looking. We're just keeping it pretty simple here in terms of how we're doing. He got the boot there. And he's got his arm. He's got his knee there. He's sort of looking down and he's polishing that boot. Got a little bit of shadow on the boot, so we know it's a boot there. And if we need to add a little bit of detail for that particular shot, we can just go in there and add that little detail. So if we're trying to explain what it is, I just got a hand here. He's coming in there with his hand, and he's trying to work on that boot. The boot is black, so in this particular shot, so we have our boot here. He's got his arm in the boot, about right there. He's got he's got his suspenders on as he's working on that boot. He's got another leg here, a leg there, and then we can just darken that boot because we're looking at that boot getting worked on right there. So right here. We know that's the boot. He's got his spurs about right there. And we know he's working on that boot. And this is his montage scene. So we don't really have an establishing shot starting it, but we're sort of going into it. And the next shot that we have as he's polishing his boot is we just get a close-up of the boot, you know. So it's his perspective looking at the boot. Let me just see if I can get a... And if I'm going to draw that real quick, let me just use this pen again. I'm just sort of looking, you're just looking at the heel of the boot here. He's got his fingers in there as he's polishing it. Again, we had his Civil War spurs on the boot a little bit. The heel of the boot here. A little close up into it. But we're always trying to think of like, why did they pick this shot? You know, what are they trying to tell us? And all we're doing is a quick montage of all the boot itself. You know, and as we're storyboarding, we're looking at this going too, you know, how do we get clarity to this? Because we want to just make sure it's just the boot that he's working on. You know, when we're thinking about it, we're thinking about a boot like this. He's got his cowboy boot here. That's what we're thinking of. And he's got his spur on the boot. And so we're working on that boot here. So if we need to get some reference, we can do some reference to sharpen that up. The next shot that we have as we're going through, he has his uniform, his Civil War uniform. And we'll do the same type of thing. So we got a lot of close-ups. We don't have a really establishing shot. We're just sort of establishing that he is currently, you know, cleaning his uniform here. And so it sort of has his rank for John Dunbar is right here. He's got his hand in there. And then he's got some sort of brush that he's working with. And as the uniform is sitting there, as he's holding up that uniform, we see the buttons of this uniform too. Hey, Buddha Belly, how you doing? We are currently reverse storyboarding Dances with Wolves. So we have his thumb here. And we have the whisk of the broom here as it's moving through. And then we have his uniform. Right here. Then we have the brush itself. Like right there. And then I would just keep going with these shots. And we're just here to learn what's going on. What is up with this montage? You know, quite a few shots to make up this montage. He's dusting off getting all the hairs off of there. And then the next shot he has that we have on there. As we're drawing, is he's using his shining up his buttons. So he has like a brass device that's on his brass buttons that he put down. We're going to see a little bit more of John Dunbar's hands here. As he's doing his best to clean up his uniform. He has some sort of rag there. We can keep it simple and just keep going because we want to get through as many shots as we can to get through this piece. So he's cleaning his uniform and polishing his buttons. And then we got a couple more. Next shot, he's polishing his sword. And with this shot, it's like a 2-point shot. So it's sort of, he's got his hand here. As I'm looking at this. So he has his, if he's holding his sword, he's got his other hand. And sort of the camera in this shot is sort of panning down so we can see this. And then inside the shot, his hand is going down the sword tip. Okay. In this reverse storyboarding process, it's a good way so you can sort of get an idea what they're trying to do. How do they get these shots together? How would you build this, in terms of your shots? Next thing we have is a shot of his belt buckle there, because we're showing he's a soldier. I hope everybody's able to draw along with this one. So in a sense, what we have is we have our belt buckle here. And it's just sitting right there. Jackaboy, hey, what's going on? And right now we're storyboarding, or doing reverse storyboards for Dances with Wolves. And so you have a couple things that are out of focus that are back in the shot here. So we're going to leave that there. Just keep that out of focus. And we really wanted to see he's got his northern buckle here. work like that. Cool. Animation channels are great. So here we have his quick the shield of the bird. This particular shot. So we got John Dunbar's. When you're laying these shots out, you're just trying to see where you're going with it. You don't have to add a ton of detail on it or anything. It's just you're trying to show that this is the belt buckle. In terms of what you got going on there. And then the next thing he has a side shot of his waist. That's here. He's got sort of his waist there. We notice the buttons. He's got his pants there. It's sort of a shot there. And he was pulling that shot up of his waistband. And the next shot you see him is he's walking across. So what I like about this is as a filmmaker, he keeps the camera in the same position. So if this is Kevin Costner's waist here, and he's got let's just use a color here to show the sash that he had on there. We'll use just this green for now. He had the sash that he was pulling up on his uniform. So in the next shot we see the belt buckle. Everything is put together. We see the sword, the belt buckle, the sash, all of his gear, and we have another shot here where he's pretty much walking now. His belt buckle's right here. He's got his sash. He's got his firearm there. He's got his soldier sword as he's walking. He had his hand on his sword. He's got the gloves on. You see the buttons. He sort of pulls it all together a little bit here as he's coming down. In terms of what we're doing, and then you sort of got a simple background of him, and he's walking this way in that shot. He's in full uniform now to go meet the Native Americans at their tribe. Willie the Worm Monster, what's going on? Cool, so he's gonna walk in that shot, and then we're gonna see him soon. And then the next shot we have is of him walking to his horse. And his horse is there. So if you think about it, it takes a lot of shots to make a film, and you know, some of these images we'd have to redo again a little bit because we want to make sure we have clarity in terms of this shot. But it sort of puts all the pieces together, and then we see our main character there of John Dunbar, played by Kevin Costner. And then here we have a great shot here. We have more of the establishing shot. So we're going to see, and if you look at the shot, if you're following along and you're watching this, take a look at this shot. It's a great shot, and it's pretty much, you're using the rule of thirds pretty much how they're doing it. So if I'm going to draw, you know, John Dunbar as he's walking to his horse, we're just going to keep it pretty simple as he's walking too. What's cool is he's walking, he's got his sort of outpost that he was living in. Just keeping it sort of simple here. You have the hillside here. And if you're trying to show us a little bit of a perspective, you can just literally draw some of your lines here as he's walking towards his horse. And then the horse is up here. So he's right in a frame. So we just get that horse right there. And the horse is just looking down here, going, hey, what's up, John Dunbar? He's got his ears flared out. He's got his mane right there. He's got his halter on. The horse is just sitting there looking like that. And I can come in there. Hey, what's up, Happy Chaos? How you doing? So just keep it simple. The horse is looking there. He's got his bridle on. He's got the bit in the mouth. He's ready to ride. Horse is right there. Like I said, he's got his mane flipped over. Right there. We're sort of focused right there. We have John Dunbar. We're going to make him pop out a little bit. He's got his boots as he's walking up. He's got his house, so it's sort of our first establishing there. Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are learning. Please do. So I think reverse storyboarding is a fun little project to do. I've learned it from other board artists when I was coming up through the ranks. And it's a great little way to learn as much as you can by studying other films. So John Dunbar comes up to the horse. And we could either show them closer or whatever. And let me go back here. And the next shot we have is we have John Dunbar with the early flag. And if you think about it, it's this shot here. And that shot is just coming down like this. Trying to get all the stars. You just want to keep it simple. You don't have to. And the flag is going through as John Dunbar is coming through. This is the flag he has. For now, it's against a blue sky. If we're trying to show it's the flag, we can keep it sort of simple. In terms of the flag itself, and the flag is sort of tattered as John Dunbar's riding the horse. And then what ends up happening is this is going to go pan down. And as we pan down, we're going to see John Dunbar, his head in that shot. So if we're drawing Costner here, think about it like this. Just use a simple head shape here. As he's looking down here, he's got the mustache. As he's holding that flag, he's got the bars on his hat. He has his buttons, we know it's John Dunbar. And so this shot here would just be panning down like this to see John Dunbar. Okay. We're keeping this sort of simple because we're learning how are they moving the camera? How is Costner, you know, as the director, how is he giving the direction to the rest of the staff? In the next shot, we show the horse on the prairie away from the camp or the post. Get 3 more shots here. I hope you guys are learning a lot from this. If you're following along and boarding with me, it's a little bit more complicated because there's a lot of things you need to draw. So the next shot you have is John Dunbar. Literally, he's pretty much at that bottom half of the shot. He's in the horse. The horse is sort of right here. Like that. Horse comes down. And you got John Dunbar riding that horse. And he still has his flag. And all we're doing is showing, maybe a little bit closer, he has the prairie grass in front of him. And then back a little bit, sort of mid-ground, we saw his encampment that's back there. We just keep it lighter. And as we're showing the prairie, over here maybe there's some darker mountain areas here. And then, we don't need to draw it exactly, but then it's the clouds in terms of what we're doing. In that shot as John Dunbar is coming towards the camera. And when you're learning, you're just learning. Like you're looking at it, because so now we have an extreme wide shot in terms of what we're doing. We have the buildings in the back. Because he had drawn away from the buildings. And all we're doing is showing it like that. We got John Dunbar. I can use a finer tip pen so it's not so blocky. We have the U.S. flag on the pole. We got John Dunbar. And we're just keeping it simpler here. We got the horse. We just want enough information so we can tell our story a little bit. So we could see John coming up. He comes towards camera. And this is pretty cool. I like this. And then you have, I forgot what two socks. You have the wolf, sort of watching John Dunbar, and the wolf is sort of in this sort of shot here. And wolf looks on. We have a cool shot where John Dunbar is behind a grass field here, and as he's what ends up happening is as he's passing through the grass, you see the flag bouncing in the background, and the flag is going this way in that particular shot. It goes back to the wolf again, watching. So again, if I'm drawing that wolf, hope anybody have any questions while I'm just sitting here drawing. Got that wolf again right there. Wolf turns his head. Same thing here, the wolf turns his head. There we have some sort of foliage. As the wolf's looking on. And pretty much what the wolf is doing, he's just sort of turning his head that way. And then the next shot we have is we have John Dunbar looking for the Native American encampment. So we changed our shot. We're looking through a telescope. All we're doing is have an establishing shot here. like that. And then it's just showing the lens of his scope. And pretty much in here we can just show the mountain range. So when you're learning how to reverse storyboard, you know, you're sort of learning why did the director and the director of photography, why did they pick the shots they picked? You know, what is it that are they trying to show us? You know, what is the montage? Why was the montage important? You know, why is the wolf important? You know, all those elements. There's a reason for every shot. Every shot is there to push story and do that. So he's looking through his telescope, and then we get him, and then we can play with that shot right there. And sort of have some fun with it. So right now we have the flag is right here. I got John Dunbar. He's looking out. He's got his cap, his military officer's cap on. We know he's looking at his buttons. We know that he's looking through some sort of telescope here. He's on his horse. We know this is the flag. We have the buttons from the here and that sort of shot. Something like that as he's looking off into the distance. Well, and when we're learning, I'm not trying to be exact because I could sit there and draw this thing to death and draw it perfect and all that stuff, but we're just here to learn, you know? We're trying to learn how are they doing what they're doing. Yeah, you're right, Akeem. Putting in that pencil mileage, buddy. Always put in that pencil mileage. You learn so much by reverse storyboarding, I think. As he's looking off into the distance. I hope everybody's learning something. And then there's one more shot of him looking off in the distance. So then we have, sometimes I'll draw the bounding box, sometimes I won't. I'll just draw the character. Like this is probably the first shot that we see, you know, John Dunbar, just sort of 3/4 shot here. So there's so many things you have to study, you know, like for this, it's like we're learning Civil War sort of gear. Learning ranks. He's got his flag here. I want to cut this off about right here for this shot. Ooh, lost the camera. I have my little make two stand here. Sorry about that. Okay. What does this say here? Orientation is locked, rotate. Can everybody still see okay? Just making sure. Okay. What happened? How did I kick that thing out? There we go. Uh-oh. Come on. It says orientation is locked. Rotate the device back. I thought we did. I hope that's not into the live stream. Holy smoke. Okay. I don't know if you can, let me know in the chat if you can still see this. Trying to finish our John Dunbar here. Yeah, it looks like it's still filming. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. It's just hard to tell. And the horse is right here. He was riding. Like he had his. As we're working on that. The horse in the foreground here. Just sort of finishing up this drawing here. That's a cool shot. John Dunbar here. Cool. Okay, guys. Let's see. We've been going for almost a little over an hour. And so we got quite a few shots here in terms of the storyboards here. Done quite a few pages here. And again, just to review real quick, we were working on Dance with Wolves. We have a montage of him cleaning his boot and shining it up and dusting off his uniform. We have him polishing his buttons, his brass buttons, you know, and then panning down to show him cleaning his sword, his scabbard there, his belt buckle, tying his sash on, and then we see the first shot of him, you know, walking across the screen. You know, it would be the same sash here that he would have been wearing right there as he's walking across the screen. And then the shot of the horse and him walking to the horse. Another, you know, we're using the same type of shot again, another pan down. And we go from the U.S. flag, boom, and the pan down to John Dunbar holding the flag, to another establishing shot showing him moving away from the fort. We have the wolf sitting there. We have this cool shot of the flag sort of as it's bouncing through on the horse as he's riding through. Another shot of our wolf just checking out John Dunbar. John Dunbar's looking through a telescope. He's looking off in for the Indians, and then him looking on. So fun to do these reverse storyboards. I enjoy doing these. I do this for study, and then I'm able to go ahead and do storyboards like this when I'm putting my storyboards together as my roughs. I'm studying other films and putting it into my own artwork. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. Remember, This channel is absolutely free to you. All you got to do is hit subscribe and hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time I post. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I had fun hanging out with you, drawing and doing reverse storyboards for Dances with Wolves. If you ever get a chance, continue drawing these boards and continue the sequence, or pick another sequence from the movie. And if you enjoy this type of live stream, let me know and we'll continue doing it. I'll try to get back to my other computer. Just running out of time tonight. I worked really late and wanted to make sure I was able to hang out with you good friends. Anyways, I want everybody to have a good night. Thank you for watching. Thanks for spending your precious time with me, learning how to reverse storyboard. I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. If I get a chance here and there, I'll try to do these sketch live streams that you can see on the channel. There's over 200 videos, so enjoy those videos and learn as much as you can. Appreciate everybody hanging out. So Wolf Midnight, thanks for hanging out. Marianne GR, Ode 10 Cafe, always a pleasure. Akeem, thanks for joining in. Willie the Worm Monster, thanks for hanging out. Happy Chaos. What else do I have on here? Jeckaboy, Buddha Belly, Eva, Daniel. Thanks so much for everybody for joining. I'll catch you in the next live stream. Take care and have a great night.